Welcome to Community Connections. I'm Lori Matway, Associate Superintendent for Student and Community Services. Joining us today is Dr. Greg Seville. Dr. Seville is a pediatrician with offices in Oldsmar and in Clearwater. Thank you, Dr. Seville, for joining us once again.
It's always a pleasure to be here, and I appreciate you asking me.
Well, we appreciate this. Well, we're moving into the holiday season.
We are.
And during the holiday season, most of us feel joy and happiness to spend time with families, to go shopping, to eat probably things we shouldn't be eating, but there's others that may experience some depression,
Right.
Anxiety.
Correct.
What are some of those signs, especially in children, of depression, and what should parents, teachers, friends look for?
Well, I think we know that we've kind of reached a crisis situation in some ways in our society and people in elementary, middle, and high school, because that's what we're talking about here. And unfortunately, we know that depression and anxiety can have something to do with nature and nurture. We know it can have to do with your genetic predisposition, and we know it can have something to do with the situation at hand. And that's what you're talking about in the holidays. There are so many pressures that come in the holidays, whether it's buying the right gift for somebody or whether people become sad because someone's no longer with us or things are not like they used to be. I'm hoping that parents pay attention to their kids and that older kids pay attention to each other and the teachers pay attention. And kids who have become withdrawn or seem more excitable or more angry or maybe talking about what the world would be like without them, or start giving away things and certain things like that would set off a series of alarms in the mind of parents or a friend or a teacher to be able to talk to that child and get him or her help.
And welcome to our What's Up Doc segment. At this time, our students are going to ask you some questions. We have students from Clearwater Fundamental and Clearwater High School. Maria, do you have a question for Dr. Seville?
Yes. What are the most common types of mental health problems in teens?
Well, Maria, that is a wonderful question. I really appreciate you participating in this very important day, and I'm happy to talk to you and all the other students listening about that topic. The two most common things we see are going to be anxiety and depression. The honest truth is that they can really be looked at together because they're on this kind of an opposite end of the same continuum.
And now we have some questions from students from Clearwater High School.
Wonderful.
Keenan, do you have a question for Dr. Seville?
Yes, I do. What should I do if my friend is talking about hurting him or herself?
Keenan, I really can't thank you enough for asking that question, because you and I know that a lot of things are happening in our society today here in Pinellas County and other places. And we all know of stories like this. And so I appreciate you participating today and getting this conversation going. Here's the thing I want to tell you, and it's an overlying theme that I talk to my patients and my own daughter about all the time. I want you to think about this when you lie in bed tonight. I want you to become the kind of person who's willing to lose a friend to save somebody's life. In other words, if you believe that somebody you know well or not so well is becoming sad or depressed, or you really believe that some threat they've made or some way they are acting could lead to them trying to do some harm to themselves, it's important that you talk to that person right away about it. And if you don't think it's appropriate to do so, go to the teacher or go to the counselor, even behind that person's back. Do you know how often every year people sit at a funeral and think, wow, maybe if I'd said something to somebody about something I heard. And I'm not trying to make this a sad conversation. The truth is, most time people are going to say something like that as a cry out for help, because they really don't want to do that, but they want you to hear them and they want you to do something about it. And even if you say something to somebody and maybe you took something out of context, it doesn't matter, because you could save somebody's life. Even if that friend or acquaintance was angry with you because they thought it wasn't any of your business, and then that person got called into the counselor, who cares? You could have saved somebody's life. So I want you to think about that very, very profound thing. Be the kind of friend, again, who's willing to lose a friend to save somebody's life. If there's ever a question in your mind about that, I hope that you'll stop doing what you're doing and seek help. Our schools are amazing places to get that help, because we have counselors set up everywhere to help you and will know what to do when you mention it. However, if it isn't in school, you're talking to your friend outside of school or perhaps a family member Talk to your parents, talk to their parents, talk to any adult, and they'll know what to do. Again, I really appreciate, Keenan, that you took the time to participate. This kind of question could really save people's lives.